Taxes and the state budget situation were the main topics of conversation around the State House as we wrapped up the second week of the 2010 Kansas legislative session. Other issues that were brought before committees for informational hearings included Flint Hills burning and animal welfare. Regarding Flint Hills burning, the Senate Natural Resources Committee had an informational hearing in which the Kansas Department of Health and Environment and Kansas State University provided information regarding research and regulatory efforts that have been being conducted because of the EPA Region 7's request to have a smoke management plan for the Flint Hills. This request was caused by Flint Hills burning from the past year, in which the smoke settled over Kansas City and Wichita and caused them to exceed their ozone requirements. Another issue that was brought before the House Agriculture and Natural Resources Committee was the presentation that was regarding animal welfare. Gregory Dennis, legal counsel for Kansas Veterinary Medicine Association, provided a legal overview of states that have had legal actions in the courts as well as legislative action regarding the issue of whether a person should be the guardian of an animal versus the owner of an animal. Thus far, no state court or legislature has passed any law or written any opinions stating that a person is a guardian of an animal, and the ownership has maintained the law, or has stayed the law in all states. However, these efforts are ongoing by HSUS and other animal activists throughout the nation. Regarding taxes, the issues that have been front and center over the past week include discussions regarding the unemployment tax and sales tax. The unemployment tax discussions have occurred in the Senate Business and Labor Committee, in which the Secretary of the Department of Labor has provided an overview of the current situation involving the Unemployment Trust Fund. This is a fund that employers pay into in order to provide employees that are laid off or are out of work with their unemployment compensation. In April, as late as April last year, the Secretary of the Department of Labor had stated that this trust fund was solvent and it was considered to be the most exemplary fund in the state of Kansas, or in the United States. However, as of last summer, it was noticed that the trust fund was going to run out of money at the beginning of 2010. What this has caused the state to do is to borrow federal funds in order to get to the point where state unemployment taxes can be increased under the statutory triggers that are currently in law. However, these triggers have caused the situation where many employees who have never laid off employees who have never laid off employees in their existence are now required to pay the statutory maximum of 5.4% on the first $8,000 paid to each employee. In fact, 28 out of 51 employers that are positively rated, meaning that they have paid more into the fund than that has been spent out on their behalf, will be paying the statutory maximum. The other issue that was brought before the House Taxation Committee was the issue of a bill that had the governor's 1% sales tax increase across the board. The hearing this week included all of the proponents of such a measure, including individuals representing the education field as well as social services. Next week, the House Taxation Committee will hear from opponents of the 1% sales tax increase as they continue to look at ways to either increase revenues, cut the budgets, or a combination of both in order to meet the $400 million expected budget shortfall for the 2011 fiscal year.